Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at something really interesting. It's a document. Claims to be an interview with an alien.
Wow.
Yeah. So this supposed interview took place back in 1947.
Okay.
So we're talking like classic vintage, UFO lore here.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do today is take a closer look. What are the details of this story?
Okay.
And what can we learn from it? So think of it like we're going on a fact-finding mission.
All right.
And we're going to try to answer the who, what, when, where, and why
Wow.
of this supposed alien encounter.
I like it. A good old-fashioned investigation.
Right, exactly. So speaking of who, this document centers around a nurse named Matilda O'Donnell McElroy.
Okay.
And she is the one who supposedly conducted this interview with the alien, who she referred to as Errol.
Errol. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And Errol had apparently crash landed at the Roswell Army Airfield.
Roswell.
I know, right?
Of course, Roswell.
I mean, that detail alone just gets those intrigue,
Yeah.
radars go.
Absolutely. Roswell is like synonymous with this whole like UFO government cover up,
Right, exactly.
It's like it's the whole thing.
Well,
but it gets even more interesting because so Errol refused to communicate through any like conventional means, like writing, drawing, or sign language.
Huh. Almost like she was trying to be evasive or
or maybe
playing by a different set of rules.
a different set of communication rules. Yeah, like you don't even understand how they communicate.
Right.
And McElroy even speculated that Errol might have been under orders to withhold certain information.
Oh, interesting.
And when she was questioned about using feminine pronouns, Errol responded with, and I quote, "I am a creator, mother, source."
Wow, that's a statement. That's a pretty bold statement.
That's a bold statement.
Sounds like we're dealing with something or someone far, far beyond our usual understanding.
For sure.
Okay, so let's get into the what of this story. So Errol claimed that her spacecraft crashed due to a lightning strike
Oh, wow.
during an electrical storm.
Oh,
And she explained that the lightning disrupted the ship's magnetic field.
interesting.
So even advanced alien technology isn't immune to a little bit of terrestrial weather.
Right. A little bit of Earth weather.
Yeah, it's almost ironic, right?
It is ironic.
To think that something as commonplace as lightning could bring down
Yeah.
a spaceship capable of interstellar travel.
Right. But I guess we're talking about forces of nature that we still don't fully understand. And who knows how alien technology would interact with those forces.
Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the where. Errol claimed to be from a civilization
Okay.
that she called the Domain,
Okay.
which spans numerous galaxies.
All right. So not just our galaxy?
No. Many.
Many. Okay.
And according to Errol, the Domain is incredibly ancient,
Okay.
existing for trillions of years.
Julian.
I know, to put that into perspective.
Yeah.
Our own planet is only about 4.5 billion years old.
Right.
That's almost impossible to grasp.
It is.
And not only is the Domain vast and old,
Okay.
but their technology is supposedly light years ahead of ours.
Of course.
Literally.
Right. Light years.
Errol claimed they could travel trillions of light years in a single day.
In a single day. So that would mean their understanding of physics
Right.
and space-time is just far beyond anything we can currently imagine.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got a mysterious alien being,
Yeah.
a crashed spaceship,
Uh-huh.
a civilization that spans galaxies.
Yeah.
But here's where things take a truly mind-boggling turn.
Okay.
Errol claimed that Earth is actually a prison planet.
What?
Yeah,
A prison planet.
a prison planet.
Okay.
For beings that she called ISBEs,
ISBEs.
which stands for Immortal Spiritual Beings.
Immortal Spiritual Beings.
Yeah.
Okay.
According to Errol, the Earth is basically a low-security detention center
Okay.
for what she called untouchables. Untouchables.
Okay. What did she mean by that?
So she mentioned 3 specific types.
Okay.
The first were ISBEs, who were deemed viciously insane or perverse.
Okay.
The second were revolutionaries, who had threatened the established order
Okay.
of something called the Old Empire.
So basically like space criminals and rebels.
Yeah, in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah, and the third type of untouchable
Okay.
were those who were considered too difficult to control.
Hmm.
Essentially, Earth was where the Old Empire sent anyone that they didn't want to deal with.
Right.
Yeah, pretty bleak picture of our planet.
It really is. It really is. I mean, it challenges our usual perception of Earth as this, like, unique and special place, in the universe.
Exactly.
But, if we stick with this who, what, when, where, why framework, the big question becomes, why Earth?
Right.
Why would such a powerful civilization choose our little blue planet as a dumping ground for their undesirables?
And why wouldn't these ISBEs just escape? If they're so powerful.
Yeah, if they're immortal.
And immortal, yeah.
Yeah.
Something doesn't quite add up.
Yeah, you're right to question that.
Yeah.
That's a great point. And it's a question that we'll definitely explore further.
Okay.
As we kind of dive deeper into Errol's account.
This is already getting very intriguing.
I know, right?
So what else did Errol have to say about this prison planet situation?
Well, according to Errol, things get even stranger.
Okay.
She claims there are mechanisms in place on Earth that actually prevent these ISBEs from remembering who they truly are.
Hold on.
It's almost like a cosmic amnesia.
So you're saying that these powerful, immortal beings are wandering around Earth with no memory of their true nature?
Pretty much.
Or origins?
That's what she claimed.
Really?
Yeah, she said the old empire uses these amnesia mechanisms to maintain control and keep the truth hidden.
Okay, but if they're immortal, wouldn't they eventually start to remember things from their past lives, even with amnesia?
Well, Airl had an explanation for that, too. She described these false civilizations that are imposed.
False civilizations?
Yeah, on ISBEs on Earth to further reinforce the amnesia and keep them trapped in this cycle of forgetting.
So can you give me like an example of a false civilization?
Yeah, she specifically mentioned, familiar civilizations like ancient India, Egypt, and Greece.
Wow.
And she claimed that each of these civilizations, with their unique languages, cultures, and histories, was essentially a fabrication.
So you're saying the history as we know it is basically a cosmic lie.
That's what Errol suggested.
Wow, this is definitely a lot to process.
It is.
And I'm guessing Errol didn't stop there.
No.
With her revelations about Earth and the nature of reality.
No, she didn't.
Let's keep going then. I'm dying to know what else Errol had to say.
All right. Let's dive back in and explore some more of Errol's extraordinary claims. It's interesting. What really strikes me about Errol's account is how she links these kind of outlandish claims about, false civilizations to a very specific observation. She said that ISBEs on Earth tend to repeat similar patterns from their past lives on other planets.
Even though their memories are supposedly wiped clean. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, you would think they would create something like totally new each time, right?
Yeah.
But she's saying it's almost like these ISBEs have this deep-seated instinct to recreate familiar structures, even across lifetimes and planets.
So it's not just amnesia we're talking about. It's like some kind of cosmic programming.
Yeah, like a
pushing them towards
certain patterns.
Yeah, certain patterns of behavior. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems that way. She even mentioned a specific type of planet.
Okay.
Sun Type 12 Class 7.
Okay.
That's commonly inhabited by ISBEs.
But according to Errol, Earth, with all of its natural disasters and isolation, is actually considered a pretty undesirable location.
Wow, so even within this vast, galactic civilization, there's a hierarchy of planets.
There is.
With Earth ranking pretty low on the desirability scale.
It's kind of a cosmic diss, isn't it?
It's a cosmic diss,
Yeah.
It definitely puts things into perspective.
Right.
Now, remember how Errol mentioned the old empire that uses Earth as a prison planet? Well, she also talked about this fascinating event that occurred about 8,000 years ago. A battalion of 3,000 ISBEs from the domain went missing on Earth.
A missing battalion. That sounds like a major incident.
Yeah, a major incident.
I bet it had to.
So Errol described this massive search effort launched by the domain on land, in the oceans, even in the space surrounding Earth.
Wow.
And they used all sorts of advanced detection devices.
One of what she called the Tree of Life.
A tree of life?
Yeah.
I wonder what that looked like. Was it an actual tree or like some kind of alien tech?
She didn't go into specifics, but she did say that some of the missing ISBEs were eventually found inhabiting the bodies of dolphins and whales.
Whoa, hold on. You're saying they found alien consciousness in dolphins.
That's what she's suggesting.
This is getting weirder and weirder by the minute.
I know. It makes you reconsider what we think we know.
Right.
About the intelligence and consciousness of other life forms
right.
on our own planet.
Right? Yeah. Could dolphins and whales be harboring the souls of ancient space travelers?
It's a mind-blowing thought, isn't it?
It really is. Okay, but let's shift gears a bit and talk about Errol's views on humanity.
Okay.
And our understanding of the universe.
Right.
She seems, pretty critical of our kind of scientific approach.
She is, yeah, very much so. She claims that human science is riddled with inaccuracies, especially when it comes to understanding the nature of life itself.
So she's basically saying we've got it all wrong.
Well, she's definitely suggesting that we're missing a key piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
And that missing piece, according to her, is this concept of ISBEs as the source of energy and intelligence in all life forms.
So she's saying there's like this whole other layer of reality
right.
that we're just blind to. Like we're looking at a painting, but missing the artist's signature.
Exactly. Yeah, like we're only seeing the surface level.
Right.
And she goes on to explain that, from her perspective, the physical universe as we perceive it is essentially an illusion.
An illusion? What does that even mean?
So according to Airl, space, energy, matter, time, all of it, it's just a projection of consciousness.
Wow.
It's like a massive collective dream being dreamt by these ISBEs.
Whoa, that's a real head trip.
Oh.
It's like the Matrix, but on a cosmic scale.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, she also delves into the concept of ISBEs being trapped in physical bodies. Okay. And she describes something called the sexual aesthetic pain electronic wave.
Okay, that sounds kind of intense.
It is, yeah.
Can you break that down for me?
Yeah.
What is this sexual aesthetic pain wave?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more challenging concepts in Errol's account.
Okay.
Think of it like this. Imagine being caught in a cycle of addiction, right?
Oh.
There's pleasure, there's pain, and these sensations kind of keep you hooked, right? Prevent you from breaking free.
So the sexual aesthetic pain wave is like a cosmic addiction that keeps us attached to our physical bodies.
That's one way to look at it, yeah.
Okay.
And Errol suggests that this entrapment leads to the hierarchical class system that we see on Earth, right? He says it's all based on the limitations of our physical forms.
So it's almost like our bodies are like the bars of the prison cell.
Yeah, that's it.
And this wave is the lock.
It's a great analogy.
Keeping us inside.
It really is. And it ties back into her claims about,
right.
Earth being this prison planet.
Right.
But here's another interesting detail.
Okay.
Errol mentions that her civilization, the domain, uses something called doll bodies for space travel.
Doll bodies? What are those?
She doesn't go into a lot of detail, but it seems like they're artificial bodies that are more durable and long-lasting than, our biological ones. It's like they can transfer their consciousness into these doll bodies for space travel, bypassing the limitations of their kind of physical forms.
Okay, so we've got Earth as a prison planet, reality is an illusion, immortal beings trapped in bodies. Alien doll bodies.
Right.
It's a lot to take in.
A lot to take in.
But I'm curious, did Errol have anything to say about the future of humanity? Any warnings or advice for us Earthlings?
She did. In fact, some of her most pointed comments were about the potential dangers of human technology.
Oh, this should be good. What did she have to say about our gadgets and gizmos?
Well, she specifically expressed concern about nuclear weapons.
Okay.
And our potential for self-destruction.
Not surprising. A lot of people share that concern.
Right, but Errol went beyond that.
Okay.
She also talked about the dangers of our increasing reliance on electronics and the electromagnetic fields they generate.
Really? So, like, she's saying our smartphones and Wi-Fi are bad for us.
Well, she claimed that these electromagnetic fields can interfere with the natural frequencies of ISBEs.
Wait, so you're saying our electronics are messing with our souls?
That's how she described it, yeah. She even referred to our gadgets as, like, electronic shackles. Further emphasizing this idea of Earth as a prison planet.
Right. It's like we're building our own cages, even as we celebrate our technological advancements.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a sobering thought.
It is, isn't it?
So it's not just the old empire that's keeping us trapped.
Yeah.
But also our own inventions.
That seems to be her point, yeah.
And she urged humanity to shift our focus.
Yes.
Away from technological advancement and towards addressing social and humanitarian problems.
Exactly. It's like she's saying, hey, humans, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
Focus on each other, not your gadgets.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, this is all fascinating stuff.
It is.
But I have to admit, my head is spinning a little bit.
It's a lot.
Yeah. We've got Earth as a prison planet.
Yeah.
Reality as an illusion. Immortal beings trapped in bodies.
Right.
Alien doll bodies.
Yeah.
And warnings about our tech addiction.
It's a lot.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, Errol's account doesn't end there.
Okay.
She had some really interesting things to say.
Okay.
About our perception of time.
Okay.
And how it might be limiting our understanding of reality.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Time travel.
Yeah.
Alternate dimensions. What's next?
Let's dive into that next. We've got a lot more ground to cover in this deep dive. So you know how Errol was so critical of our reliance on technology? Well, it seems like her concern goes beyond just the physical dangers. She suggests that our linear perception of time, you know, with its past, present, and future, is actually another form of limitation, a byproduct of our physical existence.
Hold on, are we talking about time being an illusion too?
Well,
this is getting seriously mind-bending. But I have to admit, I'm curious, what's her take on how ISBEs experience time?
So Errol claimed that ISBEs, in their true form, experience time in a much more fluid and expansive way. It's not a straight line for them, but something more akin to having access to all points in their timeline simultaneously.
Imagine all your experiences, past, present, and future, all blended together.
Exactly.
Whoa, that's a lot to wrap your head around. It's like saying every moment is happening at once. Does that mean they can see the future or change the past?
Well, those are some of the questions that, naturally arise when we try to understand a concept so different from our everyday experience. But Errol didn't provide specific answers. She seemed more focused on highlighting the limitations of our linear, time-bound thinking.
So it's not necessarily about, having superpowers like time travel, but more about recognizing that our perception of time might be a very narrow view of a much larger reality. It's like we're looking at a single frame from a movie, while they can see the entire film reel at once.
That's a great analogy, and it ties back into her earlier point about the physical universe being an illusion. If time itself is a construct, then our whole understanding of reality is built upon a foundation that might be much more fluid and malleable than we realize.
This deep dive has definitely taken us on a wild ride. We've explored some incredibly thought-provoking ideas. We've got Earth as a prison planet, a cosmic amnesia affecting humanity, advanced alien technology that makes our gadgets look like toys, and the suggestion that time and reality itself might be illusions.
It's definitely a lot to process. It challenges many of our basic assumptions about who we are, where we come from, and what's truly possible.
So where does this leave us? We've covered a lot of ground, but what's the takeaway? Is Errol's account a genuine message from an advanced being, a glimpse into a hidden reality, or just a collection of elaborate fantasies?
That's the million-dollar question, and ultimately it's up to each individual to decide what resonates with them.
It's like Errol is holding up a mirror to humanity, forcing us to question our beliefs and expand our perspective.
Exactly. Whether we take her claims literally or metaphorically, Errol's story encourages us to engage with the big questions about existence, consciousness, and our place in the cosmos. It reminds us that there's always more to learn, more to explore, and more to discover.
Well said. I think this deep dive has definitely left us with a lot to ponder. Maybe we should all put down our devices for a while and try to connect with that larger reality Errol was talking about.
I agree. Sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't found in books or gadgets, but in the quiet moments of reflection and contemplation.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.